Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. We've got a nice Shogun 2 battle today. A traditional Shogun 2 army commanded by me, and a modern army commanded by my opponent over here in the black and white. Let's get this going on slow speed. So to start off, I knew I was facing a Shogun 2 Fall of Samurai army, so I was like, they're going to outshoot me. So let's just take a couple bowmen, a lot of swords that are going to tear through his infantry, and some Naginata attendants, because these attendants are really cheap. I have the bonus retainer on, so I think they were only like 190 instead of the normal like 210. And that's pretty cheap. I got these guys, they're just here to soak bullets. So my Nodachis can get in the fight and actually kill things. Then on the flanks, I've got... Let me just check something. Yeah, on the flanks, I've got some bulletproof samurai over here and some Yari cavalry on this flank. Their job is to just go take this building, get the bonus armor and melee defense, which is going to be nice. The armor won't do much against bullets, but if I get into the melee, that'd be nice. On this flank, I've got some Donderbuses to protect my Waco Raiders, who I advanced deployed. Try and take this sword dojo, because that melee attack and charge is going to be very important to try and close the gap and instantly rout his units. And of course, you've got my General's Bodyguard. It was just Bow Samurai as my ranged unit. I didn't want to take Yari Shigaru because getting shot by musket units or guns is just going to kill their morale instantly. So I need something that could stay in the fight a little bit longer. My opponent here brought a lot of cavalry. He's got a total, I think in here, 6 units of cavalry, 6 units of melee infantry, and 5 units of range. Over a third of his army was cavalry, which really scared me. You can see I immediately sent both of my troop divisions into the woods here. So what my opponent did was he saw my Waco Raiders capturing this. He didn't like that, and he pushed up some revolver cav, and he's got his carbine coming up just to deny me this, because those Wacos will just get shot to pieces. Revolver cav shoots very fast. So I pull him back, get him in range of my Donnerbuses, and get my archers up. I want to be able to get anything that comes their way. Do this into slow. So my enemy, he's got mostly Red Bears as his line infantry with a little bit of Black Tortoise, which I believe is better than Red Bear, but Red Bear is a solid line infantry unit. It's got good stats. It's pretty good priced. It's pretty standard. When I play Fall of Samurai, I normally take some Red Bear. What else does he have? He's got Spear Levy, which is not good. Even against Cav, it's not that good. These things break very bad. Yari Eshigaru are 10 times better even without the Spear Wall, in my opinion. Spear Levy is a pretty crappy unit. I think Spear Kachi is the one that is really good. What else does he have? For melee, he's got a lot of Katana Kachi, which is scary. And then hiding amidst his Katana Kachi, he's got a bunch of Shogitai, which will absolutely tear my units apart. An amazing melee unit. Let's get this back to regular speed. So he's full flanking me with this line of Yariki, which is going to be terrifying. So I kind of notice this, and I bring my Yari Cav up to this side. I've got this captured. That bulletproof samurai is going to come in. Try and get some extra units over on this flank. As you can see, the samurai have already started fighting, taking some shots at his revolver cav and infantry. Just trying to get as many kills as he can. Managed to take down a couple and start pecking away at his line infantry. Just get as many kills. My archers do outrange him, so I can force him to come to me where I'm defending in the woods, which is going to boost my survivability against missiles. He is, however, close enough on this side, which scares me. So you can see I start to panic a little bit as this guy almost gets shredded. What happened over here? Oh, I missed it. My Donderbus ran up on his carbine cavalry and shredded them, which is a big win for me. Over half his unit just instantly dies in exchange for 1 Donderbus. So I pull him back, get him into safety, pull my Naginatas back. I'm very scared about what's going to happen in on this side. Now, because I'm out skirming him and I've got my cav over here, I send 1 over here just to help out because I'm really worried about this massive Yarki he's got hiding in the forest. He huge pushes his army and he knows I'm out skirming him and he's got to push it now. I mean, look at the amount of casualties I inflicted on him. And pretty much all that happened was I lost 2/3 of a bow samurai unit, but killed like well over 100 men in exchange for like 70, and it's line infantry, and that's his big thing because he knows these Spear Levy are not really going to stand a chance. It's basically a wasted unit in my opinion. But he brings everything up. My bulletproof are on their way. I widen my flanks out with these cav, try and get around him. Still protecting this side. Bring my Nodachis over. He gets a couple shots in. Yarkab's going in. At this point, I mass charge my infantry. Yeah, as you can see right there. He's sending waves in, and all they're doing is pretty much just hitting these cheap fodder units, the Naginata attendants, protecting my, where are they? Yeah, protecting my Nodachis from really taking too much damage, allowing the Nodachis to get in. This is kind of how you play against a Follow the Samurai army, I've noticed, is you kind of want cheap units to absorb hits, and then allow your Nodachis in, and those Nodachis with their charge bonus instantly kill pretty much everything that they hit with their models. This unit instantly shreds. This guy's routing. He hasn't even gotten into combat yet. It's just his friends routing. Again, this is why you shouldn't get Spear Levy. I bring these units around. His front line at this point, everything is routed or routing except for one unit. And it's about to get hit by 3 units, pretty much, right in its face. Over on the flank, I'm still worried. I bring my Donderbus in. I want to get some shots off on this flank right here. But he, well, I'm not paying attention, shreds my Yari Cav, and that's very worrying. So I kind of tighten my forces in, get my melee infantry in here, get my general over here to start flanking, and he, I didn't notice this at first, sends his Cav charge straight into behind me. I will not react to this fast enough, but his infantry's pretty much pushed. I send a couple of units out because a routing unit will not come back to the fight if there's an enemy unit nearby. So I just have a couple of units chase it down to get them really far at the bare minimum, and hopefully just try and get someone to route fully off the map. My Yari Cav goes in, they're trying to get a couple kills. As you can see, his Cav just gets into the back of my Samurai before I'm really able to notice that much. But I've got my bodyguard here, he's going to shred him. I've got Bulletproof Samurai on the way. I've got Waco Raiders here. My Donderbus all die while I'm not paying attention. It is very unfortunate. But I've got Nodachis over here. His Cav are dealing a huge number on my archers and pretty much shred them. But now they're trapped. I've got forces on 3 sides. They're already engaged in melee. He really wants to kill my general. So he's full sending on my general because at this point, I mean, his infantry's gone. This is all he's got left. So he's trying to micro this as much as he can. And I'm just bringing more and more troops back into this fight. A couple of his units do kind of recoup here and shoot down my Naginata attendants. They don't really do anything. So all I've got left over here once that unit routes is one thing in Nodachis. And they're pretty much full life. They are tired, but they're very high morale. And I'm just like, okay, this is all going to reroute. But he's got 130 Black Tortoise here and 70 Katana Kachi. Let's make sure this gets off the field over here. And then I'll turn around and maybe I can get a couple. As you can see, his cap's pretty much gone. I think he forgets his generals over here because he switches back here to micro. He's got nothing left. There's absolutely nothing. His general's routed off into the hills. He's got 2 guys left. It's never coming back. He's running. All that's left is over here. Yeah, see, they get close enough, so I pull him away. And he charges his Shogitai in. And the Shogitai, if they were formed up in one blob, probably would have dealt enough damage on my Nodachis that they might have started wavering. But because they're in this really long, thin line, they're coming in piecemeal and they just get routed instantly. You can see I start bringing some of my remaining missiles up just to skirm. He's not paying attention here. He's looking back here. And yeah, you won't see it here. This is what you want to do. You want to bunch your units up and go in together. They'll fight much more effectively than a couple models off fighting. However, Nodachi just shred Katana Kachi on a charge. Look how many have already died. Just absolutely terrifying here. I would not want to be a part of this crowd. Kind of regrouped his forces. Shogitai are still a big threat. Red Bear, still a big threat. His Black Tortoise comes back. He still has a considerable force in the field. Guns are very scary in this game. So I start trying to scrim it down. Just get as many as I can. I pick off a couple. That Spear Levy I'll probably round once I start shooting at it. Here we go. This is why I love Nodachis. So Nodachis have an ability called War Cry. Their morale just becomes unbreakable. This unit is at half-life. It's exhausted. It's far from friendlies. It's being shot in the flank, and it's being shot by matchlock units. So its morale's getting penalized by being hit by matchlocks. It was probably going to route before it actually touches this unit. So I pop the War Cry ability, It boosts their melee attack, boosts their charge. They're going to shred this thing when they hit it now. And they have immunity to any morale effects, and they go to maximum immediately for the duration of the effect. So they are not going to break. And despite losing a bunch of Nodachis in here, I hit them instantly. They drop 15 men, because only half my army's there. Instantly start routing, shred them. Warcry is still up, so despite me losing like another 15 Nodachis here, they go on to the next unit, charge them down. That's why Nodachis are such a great unit if you can protect them, and they're even better against matchlocks who will just tear normal units apart. But you gotta protect them. They have very low melee defense. They get stuck in combat for a while. They're gonna take severe casualties. And with that, he's got a couple of units in here left that are hiding, I believe. Nope, they've actually routed. And his army concedes. He's pretty much over. Let's take a look at the stats afterwards. So as you can see, the Nodachis did amazing work. I think this is the unit at the end that we were watching. Hundreds and hundreds of kills. My Yard Cab did great work against his cab. My Donderbuses, not as efficient as I would have liked it. Bow Samurai, all of my bows did pretty well. My Daikyu didn't do that well, but they were a little messed up at the enemy cab charge. You just kind of shredded them and then routed them off the map. General got good skirming in. My attendants actually did better than I expected, but their purpose was not to get kills. And they did their actual purpose well, which was soak damage for my Nodachis to get in there and the Nodachis to break them. And then his forces, I mean, he did fairly well. His cab charge scared me. He skirmed with his 2 skirm cab much better than I skirmed with mine. I think what ultimately came down to was he got his units bunched up. There wasn't a lot of good firing from his side, and then I pulled everything into melee before it was able to actually get any good shooting off. And that's pretty much how you fight most Fall of the Samurai armies that aren't using artillery, at least. I was very scared he had some, because that would have changed everything around. I would have had to play much more aggressively. But yeah, I mean, you kind of just want to rush them down. Don't give them the chance to shoot at you. Don't take matchlocks for the most part, because they're just going to get outshot by everything. Because Fall of the Samurai have better range, accuracy, and reload speed. So just get some melee in there. Get into melee as soon as possible with their infantry. But have a couple bow units. See if you can skirm as much down or force them to come to you where it's advantageous, like in a forest. Alright, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.